So the Green Bay Packers, we are still alive. We are still in this thing. Now sitting at 6-8, beating the Los Angeles Rams Monday Night Football 24-12. And for a team that looks so inconsistent, especially on offense to start the year, this past month has really shifted with Christian Watson coming in, playing incredible this past month. And today we had Romeo Doubs come back after missing the past month with his ankle injury. And the Packers were able to put up 24 points against the Los Angeles Rams. And there were still some bad moments for this offense. We had the Aaron Jones fumble. We had the Aaron Rodgers fumble. But even though we had, a couple miscues in this game on the offensive side of the ball, we were still able to get the job done. And I think that we've seen so much improvement from this offense. We knew that having young receivers here in Green Bay could take some time for things to get going, for the young players to get acclimated with the system. And now I think we're seeing that with this Packers offense. Christian Watson is consistently making plays. I think he had 4 receptions for 40-something yards. And his impact is just felt consistently throughout the game. He had a one play, I think it was either a pass interference or defensive holding on one of the Rams players who just grabbed him because Christian Watson was about to burn him. And so defenses are having to focus on Christian Watson, keep them in their sights because they know what he can do, the speed he has, and it's been exciting to see just what Christian Watson, has been able to do, the way he's shifted this offense. And then today to have Romeo Doubs back. There was one series he had like 2 or 3 catches. He actually finished the day as the Packers' leading receiver with like 5 receptions, 55 yards. And you can just see Doubs' development as well. And in this game, the Packers coming in, it seemed like they were probably not, let him play fully or play the entire game just because of that ankle injury. They sort of wanted to bring him back a little slowly. And you saw that throughout the game. I don't know exactly how many snaps he had. Maybe half of the offensive snaps, maybe a little more. I'll need to take a look after the next day or so to see the exact amount of snaps. But they were limited, or Romeo Doubs is limited in snaps. And so going forward, probably next week against Miami, hopefully he'll be able to be out there even more. And it was one of the first times we've gotten to see Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs both out there since Christian Watson has exploded and become a really, productive receiver for this Packers offense. And I think now to have both Watson and Doubs, who have lots of confidence, who are out there making plays, Rodgers clearly has so much more trust in them after, all the games we've had this season. And so at least now the Packers offense can actually make plays when they need to. And also, too, we look at the running game. I think we had 35 rushes to 30 passes. And so the Packers relied on the run most of the night. Aaron Jones, 17 carries, 90 yards. A.J. Dillon had, I think, 11 or so carries. He went down with a concussion, so hopefully he will be fine. But for the Packers, when they're able to consistently run the ball, sets up the play action. And then I think tonight we saw lots of, especially, that first series, consistently being able to pass the ball down the field. When the Packers offense can do what they did tonight, even having a few mistakes with a fumble, with an interception, if we wouldn't have those 2 mistakes and we wouldn't have had that after the first series, that goal to go, we get sacked. I mean, there were lots of, if a few different things went our way, the Packers could have easily put up, 30, 38, 40 points. And so I'm very hopeful going forward for this Packers offense, especially for the next few years with Watson and Doubs' development. But now with the Packers right now at 6-8, we still need some things to go our way. We, of course, need to win our final 3 games. We won tonight, so we got, one check. We checked 1 box. We need to win 3 more. It's going to be a big challenge next week against the Miami Dolphins in Miami on Christmas Day, a team that just went toe-to-toe with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, took it down to the wire. They have an incredible offense. And that's one thing about tonight. The Packers defense held up very well against the Los Angeles Rams. Now, the Los Angeles Rams are not a great offense. Their offensive line, probably one of the worst in the NFL. The Packers were able to take advantage of it on the defensive side of the ball. I think we had 5 sacks total. Preston Smith had 2. JJ Enagbare had 1 sack. He made lots of plays, especially the first quarter. Quay Walker was flying around, made some nice plays in the backfield. And today for the Packers defense, a defense that I think has struggled lots of this year. It was a very, very dominant performance, only holding the Rams to 12 points, I think 150-something yards. I think 111 yards from Baker Mayfield passing and only 72 yards rushing. So the Rams, they had a few nice plays from time to time, a few moments where the Packers defense sort of let things slip by, but overall, the entire 4 quarters, the Packers defense really held the Rams in check. Baker Mayfield was under constant pressure. The defensive line today really, did some damage where most of the year the Packers defensive line has been pushed around and Kenny Clark hasn't really been quite the dominant force that he's been in years past. Tonight, he was that dominant force. There were multiple plays. He's pushing through double teams, making plays in the backfield, stopping the run. Packers consistently getting pressure on Baker Mayfield. And so going forward, let's hope we can see the same Packers defense, even against a very talented Dolphins team. We're also facing, after the Dolphins, two really solid offenses in the Minnesota Vikings who can put up points in a hurry. We saw this past week against the Indianapolis Colts, the Vikings coming back after being down 33-0. When you have weapons like a Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, Osborne as well, our defense is going to need to show up in those games. So it was good to do it tonight, but this was a team that we should have beat, a team that we really needed to come in at Lambeau Field, take care of business, and luckily it's exactly what we did. Of course, there are always some things to clean up, as I mentioned, the fumble, the interception, but overall, I think a very promising performance from the Packers, and hopefully we can keep it up going forward. And let's hope the Lions lose a game before we play them. Let's hope the Commanders lose, 2 of their next 3 games, and then let's hope the Packers win 3, and then we'll be sitting in the playoffs. That would be a crazy. It would be pretty insane considering what the Packers have gone through this year to start the year, all the mishaps, the losing to teams we thought we would beat before the year started. If they could end in the playoffs, that would be incredible. And so the Packers are still alive. It was a great game, great win, 24-12 for the Packers. But that's all I have for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching as always. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.